How's it going everyone, and welcome back to my Battlefield 3 Loadout video series. So since the SPAS-12 was introduced to the game as part of the Close Quarters DLC, I've been wanting to create some kind of loadout for that weapon. Other than its appearance in the Terminator movie, it's otherwise famous for its use in Jurassic Park, with it being the weapon of choice for Park Warden Robert Muldoon. So based on the theme of Jurassic Park and the character Rob Muldoon, I've named this loadout Raptor Hunter, and it's all about using the SPAS-12 based on inspiration from the Jurassic Park movie. So because this class is based on the character Bob Muldoon, who was a kind of park ranger character, the Recon kit in Battlefield 3 seems to be the best fit. Otherwise, the engineer kit would also be quite a good fit, because during my research I found out that in the novel of Jurassic Park, the character Bob Muldoon favours a slightly more overkill M72 Law rocket launcher as opposed to the SPAS-12 shotgun as we see in the movie. While it would have been pretty cool to see Bob Muldoon blow a T-Rex to bits in the movie, I don't think an M72 Law would have been quite as iconic as the SPAS-12. For me, it all boils down to that scene where he's being hunted by the Velociraptors and he's carefully unfolding the stock before realising he's being ambushed. So let's get started with this loadout and take a look at the weapons and accessories we're going to use. We've already mentioned about the SPAS-12 and the iconic use from the Jurassic Park movie, and this is really what this class is all about. It's basically just an excuse for me to use the SPAS-12 a little bit more after creating my weapon guide on it. Accessories wise, like with all these loadouts, we're going to base selections from what was used in the movie. We don't see any optic attached to the SPAS-12s in Jurassic Park, so we'll just go with the default iron sights. In the movie we see the SPAS-12 used with a full-length magazine tube, whereas in the game you only see the SPAS-12 with a short magazine tube unless you're equipped with the extended mags attachment. Then for the ammo choice for the SPAS-12, this is really what defines this class, since we're going to use the 12 gauge slug rounds. Not only is the SPAS-12 really competitive with the slug rounds, since it's got that faster rate of fire than the 870 NCS, but in real life slug rounds are used by huntsmen when hunting larger game such as deer or dinosaurs. And in the movie, because these weapons were probably stored for protection against the dinosaurs in case of any crisis like we see in the story, it's likely that they would have been equipped with slug rounds, since they'd be the best ammunition choice to drop an animal of that size. Then moving on, if we look at the Internet Movie Firearms database, some of the boffins over there have actually pointed out that Bob Muldoon carries a black leather holster with US markings on it, which means he carries some kind of M1911. We never actually see this weapon in the movie, since he never draws it or actually uses it, but all in all it's one piece of fun trivia you can impress your friends with next time you watch the movie. So moving on, let's take a look at the gadgets and specialisation we're going to use as part of our Bob Muldoon Raptor Hunter setup. Since we're using the Recon kit, we've got the choice of either the TUGS, the MAV or the SOFLAM. In the movie we've got the iconic scene where Bob Muldoon gets tricked by the Velociraptors, with one of them baiting him to the front while the other one attacks from the side. In the movie, if he had some kind of motion tracking device available, he wouldn't have fell for this trap, so in game we'll equip the TUGS as a simple way to keep an eye on those bad guys so we don't get ambushed ourselves. For gadget number 2, because we've gone for the Recon kit, we've only got the choice of the radio beacon, but moving straight onto the specialisation, just before that previously mentioned scene where he gets torn to pieces by the Velociraptor, he's telling Dr. Sattler how they're currently being hunted and they wouldn't be able to make it if they ran to safety towards the bunker. But if in the movie he had the sprint specialisation available, it would have allowed him to sprint that slight bit faster and made it to safety instead of being killed off from the movie. Then finally, for the camo choice, we're going to go with Desert Khaki, since this fits in perfectly with the character Bob Muldoon. In both the novel and the movie, with him being a top hunter, he's seen with a typical safari-style khaki outfit, with that short-sleeved shirt, some pretty short shorts which show off some quite sexy legs, as well as his khaki socks pulled right up to his knees, and not forgetting that khaki Stetson hat. It's just a shame we can't completely customise our characters in-game, since in-game we'll just be left with a more military-style tactical outfit. So all in all, aside from the obvious Jurassic Park theme, this loadout is really quite competitive in-game. I'm sure we've all heard about how good the SPAS-12 is with slug rounds, and I mentioned back in my weapon guide episode for this weapon that I'd personally recommend buckshot, but slug rounds are the way to go if you've got that extra accuracy when using keyboard and mouse on PC. But since creating that guide, I went back into the game and played around more with slug rounds, and actually found that if I slowed my game down and took time to line up my shots first, I could actually get more shots on target and go on more killing rampages. With the shotguns in Battlefield 3, we've got that on-screen circle reticle, as opposed to any typical crosshair lines, so it does make it a little bit more difficult to line up your shots, since you haven't got any points of reference to where the centre of that circle is. But this is where aiming down sights with your SPAS-12 does come in handy, since you've got that little pin in the rear aperture to line up your shots with. When using buckshot, you wouldn't really have to think about aiming down sights, since you only need to get the enemy somewhere in that circle. But when using slug rounds and the SPAS-12, it's not too difficult to line up your shots firing from the hip when in pretty close quarters, but when you get to some long range encounters, just aim down sights and use the weapon mode as a sniper rifle, and you'll be surprised about what kind of long range kills you can get. So that's about it for my Raptor Hunter setup. Give it a try in Battlefield 3 and let me know how you got on with it. Hopefully dinosaurs will be introduced to the game in a future DLC, so hopefully then we'll be able to maximise this class's potential. But if you like the sound of this loadout, or if you just enjoyed my video, please drop me a thumbs up down below just to help spread the word, share the video with your friends, and give my videos overall more widespread exposure. Let me know down in the comments below if you can think of any other movies I can base the Battlefield 3 loadout on. I guess there's some that I've already covered for Modern Warfare 3 classes that I could tweak into Battlefield setups. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.